Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Oh. Hey, Whiteboard, remind me after we finish the review to give you the answer to this question I was asked.
Okay. Why are you being so cryptic about that?
You know, build a little intrigue, keep a through line throughout the day is what I'm trying to do.
You forgot the question.
I forgot the question. You know, it's been a long time, but... Oh, hi. Hello, everybody. My name is Robin0928, and welcome back to My Little Robin Reviewing His Magic. Sorry again for it taking so long. Yeah, I don't have a really good excuse about where I've been the last few months. Just kind of really busy and kind of hasn't been easy to keep up with the show since then, so I guess I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, nothing really that important going on. We really should have gotten on top of making the show.
Yeah, not much going on, just kind of sitting around with our thumbs in our mouth. But anyway, welcome to the new office. What do you think?
What happened to the old place again?
Noise complaint. Hang on a second. Something's missing here. Yeah, looks good. Anyway, my name is Robin0928, and on this show we take a look at the good, the bad, and what we think overall. And in this episode, we're going to take a look at Triple Threat. So this episode is filled with a lot of interesting animation moments in it, with some pretty unique moments in its cinematography. From stimulated depth of field to this kinda cool looking fantasy sequence, and a few more unique particle effects for what's essentially a slice of life episode. And this pretty decent animation coincides with a pretty decent storyline that involves Spike, Thorax, and Ember. While it's something we haven't seen before, seeing these characters interact for the first time was continuously entertaining. Especially Ember. Almost every line of hers was entertaining in this episode.
No, I'm Starlight.
Right. I'm sorry, but you can't blame me. You both look and act so much alike.
This might be the funniest line in the entire series. I don't even know how to describe how much I love this entire sequence, and Ember does this throughout the entire episode, so she's a joy to watch. Thorax on the other side is a little bit less entertaining, as he's kind of the comic foil to Spike, so he's supposed to be kind of boring, but he's generally pretty okay. Here's a pretty superficial compliment. It's kind of cool to see background characters interacting with the main story. Usually I don't care too much about these kind of fan interactions, but having characters that fans would recognize but don't really get a lot of spotlight in the main story is kind of nice. I think it kind of adds to the whole experience of the episode. With all that positivity, sarcasm by the way, what could I not like about this episode? Well, I thought that the concept of the episode was pretty mediocre. It feels like something we've seen in seasons 1 and 2. From a long-term perspective, yeah, we were going to see concepts repeated, but on the individual episode, this is a pretty standard slice of life episode. It feels incredibly repetitive. On a weird character note, does it feel like Twilight and Starlight are interchangeable in this episode? I know they kind of lampshaded it with a line at the end of the episode, but in the end, it felt like almost every line that Twilight and Starlight had, the other one could have said it for them. It almost seemed like the writer needed two characters, but wanted to have Twilight in most of the scenes, so said, Starlight Glimmer. It was also really weird seeing how much of Twilight's tendencies are in Spike in the episode. Again, pretty decently lampshaded, but it felt like Spike was acting a lot like early Twilight in this episode with all of his anxieties. I know he does have a lot of Twilight's tics, but it feels weird when he goes from laid back, chill dude to the world is about to end if I don't do this right, Spike. That to me doesn't feel like his character, especially at this point in the series. Well, this was an episode I didn't have a lot of thoughts on, but in the end, I think it was fairly decent. It had a lot of funny interactions, a good, if repetitive, moral, and some really great animation effects and cinematography, but at the same time, I think that this episode has some massive character flaws and is a fairly generic premise for a My Little Pony episode. In the end, I enjoyed it well enough. My name is Robin0928, and I will see you all next time.
So you said you had an answer to some question?
Oh yeah, I was asked this question a while ago, and I've really been thinking about the answer, but it took me a while to really put it into words, you know?
Well, what's the answer then?
The answer was, I don't know. Maybe it's not really consistent, but what is consistency? Your definition is going to differ from my definition of consistency, and in that case, who really is consistent? I mean, didn't we just invent that as a concept to describe a personal level? And in an ever-changing universe, isn't inconsistency the only true constant? I don't know. I'm not the same person I was a year ago, or 10 minutes ago. We're always changing, and I guess you can assume that we're going to be inconsistent. I just hope you stick around for the ride.
Ah, that was beautiful. What was the question?
They were asking why I have a shirt pocket now. I just thought it looked cool.